Hello, guys. I know it's been a mighty long time. I recently haven't been getting anything. I've had life happen and whatever, but I've had these ideas of what to do, and I've had this idea for such a long time. I just haven't done it because I've got all the giants. I was gonna do like ranking all the giants, and then next I'll do ranking all the SWAT force, and I've got so many ideas to do. I just, for some reason, haven't done it. So yeah, so the idea of today is gonna be, I've got all the giants, all 8 giants of each element, and I'll be ranking them based on looks for one, and abilities, or from what I remember. So how about we just get into it? Of course, this will be 8 Skylanders, so I'll have the top 8. My number 1, I might have said it before in a past video, I don't know, I've done about 3 or 4 videos, but let's just get into it.
Any last wishes?
Starting off with number 1, we've got Ninjini. And I might be saying that wrong, because to me, she's the least memorable giant to me personally. I remember playing, I think it's the Scarlet version around my mate's house, but I just didn't have it, and it was the last Skylander giant I ever got. So I never really had, like, of course I played with her, but I never really had enough time to, you know, get to know her. And of course I know her ability, she turns into a ball, she has swords, like the swords are cool. But to me, I just never had that connection to other, of course, Skylanders, or giants should I say, as the others, because I got it on Christmas, like maybe a few years ago, and then, like I said, I just never really have played as her, and every time I play as her I just can't seem to find a liking. And yeah, so that's my number 8.
Hey, I'm on fire!
So next up we have Hothead. Now, I had a connection with him like some other Skylanders, but I never ultimately had that sort of, oh yeah, I can't wait to get home and play Hothead when I was younger. All these other ones I did. This one was no special occasion, I just remember getting it. But his abilities are cool. I remember he has the turning into car ability, no, not car, motorbike ability, and how he can place tar on the floor, set a light, do a lot of damage. He's tanky, of course, because he's a giant, but he's got a cool design. But he just looks like a bigger Eruptor. I feel like that's something that's bringing him down. And like don't get me wrong, Eruptor's my favorite like light core Skylander, but it just isn't like that big of a. It just doesn't look original. It just looks like they're just giving Eruptor and just sizing him up. So yeah, that's my number 7 out of 8 of my Skylander giants. The sun's coming out now, if you can't tell. And yeah, we'll move on to number 6.
It's Crush Hour!
Next one here, we have Crusher. Nearly forgot him there, even though he used to be one of my favourites. And that's saying something. Younger me, this would have been top 2, top 3. As you can see, he's old. But anyway, let's get back to it. The one thing that's pulling me down for Crusher is the fact he's slow. Big hammer, good damage. He can turn people to stone with his eyes, like a Medusa, for example. But he's just too slow, in my opinion. And of course, they're giants, but you have people like Swarm, who's going to be, of course, on this list, that can, of course, fly around and quicken. You've got Thumpback, who's, once again, going to be on this list, that can slide. So many of these people have quick movements, and this might just be a thing on me. I have looked at their movesets, and I know he can, like, this one move called Rock Slide, where he can turn into a bunch of rocks, I think. But I just don't remember as a kid being moving. And of course, when you're a kid, you're impatient. You want to get everywhere from A to B as quick as possible. Like, you kind of just want to progress. And I just don't remember having any movement moves with Crusher. But apart from that, he is great. I think the fact that he's melee, but he of course the hammer's big and it goes quite far. But to me, now he has a lot of flaws, but then I think his design's cool. The big hammer, I've said it a lot, is cool, and it has a core memory for me from getting it from my dad, I think either on Christmas or my birthday. So yeah, so that's number 6 now on my Giants list. We'll now move on to number 5.
Bring it the sting!
Number 5 is Swarm, and I have a personal attachment to Swarm because of how I got him. I got him on Christmas Day at my nan's. Of course, family member, love my nan, great woman. And but not just that, his ability's cool. Like I said in the last one, he has an ability to fly and it goes quickly, and he moves quite fast when he's able to fly, so it's kind of like he's got a giant, but he can move quite quick, and he's got these things here he can shoot. And apart from the connection with my nan, I never really got attached to him. I got more attached than Hothead and Ninjini, but maybe not Crusher. But I think the thing that really seals the deal for him is he has range attacks as well. Like, I know he can set bees on people, but these things are ranged. So I think I prefer ranged Skylanders, and although the next 2 might not be ranged, this one I think it's the attachment for me. I think I just didn't get as attached. I got him at a weird point where I obviously have finished the game, but I just didn't go back to it and play it again with him as much as I had other ones. Apart from that, he is a cool giant, and I love how quick he is. But we'll now be moving on to number 4, halfway point. And yeah, let's go.
Be afraid of the dark!
Number 4 has got to be T-Rex. OG, starter pack giant. Probably some would say the GOAT in Giants, maybe, because of course you form that attachment because it's the first one you get. You're like, oh my god, it's a giant. You might not have had multiple giants when you got it like I did. I only had the starter pack. And of course, this was the only giant I had on my first playthrough. I've played giants multiple times as a kid. I was like, I think I was like 4, maybe even 5 when Giants came out, but it was just cool to have him. And he has movement. He has one move where he can dash really quick. But apart from that, he's melee. I can't really remember his moves that well. Of course, I've looked at them, but I just sit there looking at them. I'm like, oh, is that it? But I think the only thing that is carrying it is the fact that it's the first one you get, and you just form that attachment, and it is just amazing. And the fact that it's life and it's a big tree, and also the reveal trailer with him was cool. When there was like, there's no such thing as giants, and then he pops up. He's just a OG. That's what he is. He's an OG. He's amazing. He's goated. But that is my number 4. So we'll now be moving on to number 3. Top 3 giants. So let's get over to it.
I've got my eye on you.
Number 3. The undead giant Eyebrawl. This man. This thing is my first go. Number 1, the eye. He is a bit slow, we'll just say that. His slowness slows him down, of course, and kind of brings him down. But his eye, where he can pop off and shoot lasers, is a bit, as you can see, a bit worn there. But apart from that, I don't like melee, and I prefer range, but how he can punch, and like I said, the eye, just everything about this guy. And I have a very core memory of when I first got him. I went down to this like field river / thing with my mates, and I screamed out the window, I went, insert name here, look who I've got, and I like showed him out the window, and it was such a fun memory to look back on, because it's that Skylander hunting that we all miss, that we all love doing, that I still do to this day. I scroll eBay, scroll CX. Anytime I get to CX, I always have to look through Ask just to see if there's any I don't have. And it's just, being young is just amazing, as we all know. But apart from that, his abilities are cool with the eyes. And I remember he did a lot of damage. Maybe not as much as others, but Eyebrow, my number 3. So we will now be moving on to top 2.
Deal with the wheel.
My number 2. Bouncer. My original GOAT. My original favourite until a certain someone came along. If you know who it is, you will probably know who it is now. But oh my god, Bouncer was amazing. His movement was cool. He was slow, but he was ranged. And not just that, he could go up in the sky, go, you know. But he was, like I said, my original favourite. Just because how much fun I had with him. I don't think he has a special story in real life of when I got it, but just remember having an amazing time with Bouncer. And his quips, I don't remember them, haven't played the game in a long time. I need to. I really want to stream it or upload videos onto my channel. Hopefully in next year I'll be able to get it on my PS5. Well, get the PS4 disc. I know I can't get it with Giants, but I know I could maybe get it with Swap Force or Trap Team. I definitely know with Superchargers and Imaginators I can get it on my PS4. But, well, my PS5, but with a PS4 disc. I just really want to play this man again. Of course, I can on my Wii, but of course, Wii's not as good as a PS5. But I always used to play with him. I don't think I've ever had a time where I never enjoyed playing Bouncer. I always wanted to as a kid. I always did as a kid. And I always used to love just bouncing around with Bouncer. But anyway, some of you might know my number 1. Some of you might not. So let's move on to my number 1 giant.
Hail to the wheel.
Number 1 is Thumpback, my GOAT. I love this guy. First time I played it was around my friend's house. His anchor was just amazing in battle. His sliding on his front ability, he just was tanky, but he had range. He was slow, yes, but what giant isn't? Apart from Swarm, how that's what brought him up. But he's just a massive whale. Yeah, he's hail to the whale. Skylanders, please sign me up. But he was just amazing. Like, I had nothing wrong with him. And fun fact, I didn't have this giant until like 2019 or 2020. And I was so annoyed because, like I said, first time I played him was around my friend's house. And I never played him since. And I remember doing the water, like secret water level in one of the Giants levels with him, with my friend, in the morning when we were eating breakfast. And I just never got him. I never seemed to find him. I don't know what wave he was when he came out. But I loved him from day one. Since I played with him, day one. And he's just amazing. And I always had that special place in my heart for him, but I just never had him. And when I had him, oh my gosh, I played through the whole of Giants with him. Didn't die once. Did it in like a day or two. And it was just amazing. Of course, my goal for that playthrough was just to finish it with him. And I did. And it was so good. Of course, you might need to mess around with other ones, like other Giants or whatever. But Thumpback is my favourite. And wow, this guy. I might take him to bed one night. So yes, that is my official ranking of all the Giants in Skylanders. Of course, they never did Giants again. They moved on to Swap Force. I've only got 3 Swap Force left to collect. Trap Shadow, Gorilla Driller, and Firecracker. Firecracker's like a Thumpback situation. I saw Skylander Boy and Girl playing like the first episode of Swap Force, and I fell in love. I just never had him, which really annoyed me. But I would like to thank you all for watching. I'd really want you to subscribe. I would really want this channel to blow up. I really want to have this community where I can chat to people, express our love for the game. If you didn't know, I have a lot of memories with Skylanders, and of course I want this channel to expand into more than Skylanders. I want to try do Lego stuff. I've got loads of Lego. Just really loves communicating things he loves. Of course, I have people to do that with, but I want to spread it out. I want people to see this and enjoy my videos, enjoy my rankings, enjoy my unboxings, and just have that feeling of how it used to be. And that's what I want to try achieve. Of course, there are other channels that do it, and shout out to them. But of course, once again, I want to share my experiences with the game, and I want you to share your experiences if you've had any in the comments. I thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, do whatever. I just want people to share their stories on this game, because although it's gone, I don't think it should be forgotten. So thank you all, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.